Hey YouTube, today we're going to be doing something a little different than what I normally review. To break it up from just knives and stuff, we have my med kit. The bag itself is in a National Guard, should get that close, yellow ribbon bag. I picked this up on eBay. It's about 8 by 8 inches, 2 inches thick, and then it can expand obviously to 4 or so depending on what you throw in it. Yeah, so I got this cheap. I like the way it looked. Not a big fan of the tiny wee little zippers, but it gets the job done. And let's go over what I have on the inside. First of all, Kendall Curity cover sponges. They're 4 by 3 inches and they will absorb blood. So if you have some kind of injury where people are just bleeding, well, let's hope it's one person is just bleeding, this is what you're going to want. I have a scar here. I was messing around with it when I was being careless and I cut myself and I was bleeding a shitload. And I didn't have these, and all I had was those GI gauze. That does not work out very well for absorbing blood. And these do. They're sponges. By definition, they absorb. This is just a cheap, big Band-Aid. I think it's probably from the dollar store. Takes up no space, no weight. Throw it in. Yep. Assured. Another dollar store, just a little thing of gauze. Weighs nothing, takes up no space. Gauze. And here's some mossy oak bandages. You know, they look cool. Picked them up at Gander Mountain. Were more expensive than regular matches. I think these are latex bandages from, again, the dollar store. And they have antibiotic already on there, but it's always helpful to apply more. Can't have too much. Just more bandages. And then I picked these up because REI has such tiny sized backpacking items. Sting relief, you know, for the off chance that you get stung by something. I live in Michigan, not very likely, but it's always nice to have. Some more cheapo Band-Aids. And then we have hydrocortisone cream. You know, burns, stuff like that, itching. These work well. They combat. I'm gonna put this thing back together. This is in here for shits and giggles. Oh, do you see what I did there? Laxative, shits and giggles. Yep. I got this. This is a free sample in the mail. It weighs nothing, takes up no space, and you know, with all that nasty backpacking food, you know, MREs, anything. You know, your body might not be adjusted to eating leaves and squirrels. And you might have constipation and you need to take a shit. Well, this will do it. And it does it just so nicely, just so effectively. It's not explosive either. It's just you feel like you gotta take a bomb movement. Mirror. Oh, let's see. I got a camera. Yep. Always helpful. You can check yourself out. You can signal things. I'm using just a medium setting on my bedroom light, and I can already reflect it. See? Look at that. How neat is that? So that's self-explanatory. Signaling and checking yourself out. And I hate to say it, but I have copied, nothing fancy on something. I was being stupid back there. We have these little plastic tubes. This one is empty. I need to get some rubbing alcohol and fill it, but I didn't have any 91% or higher, so I said fuck it. And this one is full of hydrogen peroxide, which, little known fact, gets ruined by UV rays. So get some electrical tape. You got some emergency tape if you need it, and it's full. Trust me. So yeah. And then I labeled this Hide Proc. You know, it's as clear as you can get with a tiny little Sharpie. And it says alky, but it's currently empty, as you can see. And then what else do we have? This is some of the core components from my older kit. I'll just dump it all out right now. Ace bandage, you know, could be an easy injury would be twisting or spraining an ankle. You're going to want this to support your joints. Chapstick. GI chapstick. Picked it up at a gun show. It's like $1, you know. Tastes like ass, but it'll work. Aquaphor healing ointment for dry and cracked skin. Also works well as good chapstick. And if you get, like, you know, skin chapping or cold, this works really well. And you don't have to just put it on your lips. You can put it on anywhere. On anything. You can even use it for some alone time in your tent. You know what I mean. Zantac 150 prevents and relieves heartburn. Very plausible idea. Some people say not to have them. I say fuck it. Yep, suture kit. We have a 3.0 and a 4.0. And a 4.0 was what was used to stitch that puppy up. You know, don't try these if you don't know how to use them. I've had some medical training, first responder, CPR certified. I would rather, you know, if I cut myself, I'd rather stitch myself up with stitches than, you know, trying to get a fishing hook and some fishing line. I mean, people say don't have those, but in an emergency situation, when you need something like that, then you gotta use it. 2 portable aqua tabs. I think each one purifies, I think it's a gallon, but that should be something I should know. This is just generic pill bottle from the dollar store. Oh yeah, drugs, look at that. We have a mix of Motrin, Tylenol, aspirin. Clearly you can see what's what, Benadryl, you know. Can't really mess that up unless you're colorblind. Nobody I know is. I broke my finger. Now my bone will grow back, normally. Isn't that neat? How neat is that? And I have big fingers, and this is the biggest one I can find that fits comfortably, so yeah, it's good use for, you know, you break fingers, or do something. Anything to your finger. Just another roll of gauze. Threw it in there. Here's that GI gauze I was talking about. Cool, it's vacuum sealed, waterproof, so I know no matter what, this will be safe to use at the end of the day. It's OD in color, you know, because when you're bleeding out of your chest with a sucking wound, you gotta blend in with your environment. Tweezers, can't say enough about them. Just shit in your hands, pull it out. Got a unibrow, plug it. You gotta look good. Gloves, probably not sterile, but I would rather have something over my hands. Those gloves are probably more sterile than whatever my hands have been in out in the woods. Alcohol prep pads. We have about 10. Sterilize, start fires, too many uses, can't list them all. Tempid dots. Don't ask, you know, doesn't weigh anything, takes up no space. Oh, I'm not feeling good. Well, check if you have a fever. Bam! Temp charts. Can't go wrong. Okay, I don't remember doing this, but apparently I thought it would be a genius idea to zip tie this right in the middle. I guess so the bag doesn't unravel. But what we have in there, we have curved scissors, forceps, curved forceps. There we go, got it. This is smart. And then a razor, just in case. You know, this probably weighs more than the whole rest of the pack combined, but it's all important. You know. Not people take this many stuff, but I've seen some things, man. You know, I've cut myself where that could have been even lethal. That could have been lethal back in the woods if I was miles away from civilization. I drove to the ER and got that puppy stitched. What if something like that happened and you didn't have these supplies or the skills to fix it? You'd be fucked. You'd be dead. So plan smart. I would rather carry that than, you know, food of that weight. It's important. It takes 3 weeks to die after not eating. Admittedly, after like the first fucking day, you'd be really hungry as shit. But you can die in hours if you don't have, you know, stuff to heal you up. I actually have What is not included, I have a thing of Neosporin ointment. It's not in here. I used it recently. I guess it never got put back. But yeah, this is all something everybody needs. I see a lot of people lacking med kits. This is $1. People, you get a sliver in your hand and you can't pull that out and the puppy gets infected, you're gonna lose your hand and you can just cauterize it at the wrist, you know, stumpy. It looks cool, right? People respect you for only having one arm. So do it right. Get a med kit. Doesn't weigh much. Doesn't even cost that much. Just do it.